I have something that I want to propose to you guys. First of all, I have so many cool things going on over the next till the end of the year. We've got okay. I mean, I could just give you a quick highlight. We don't have it all figured out yet, but we're working on the designs. But I'm doing a samurai series of knives that are samurai themed and come with a Ronin coin that we're in the middle of designing right now. I kind of knocked up a sketch of the design yesterday and gave it to the art department. We're doing a gunfighter series, which will have the sale. We'll have that vault. We'll do our gunfighter vault. I believe it's October 26th, which is the anniversary of the gunfight at the OK Corral. We're doing we'll do this. Our samurai event's going to happen on December 7th. A vault that will live in infamy. We have our Warfighter series coming out, which is a commemoration of every war America's been involved in, all the way back to the French and Indian conflict. Knives made up for all of those. And we have some vintage World War II and World War I firearms that are going to go with those. So there'll be a pairing of a firearm and a knife, which I think you guys will really like. That's one's going to be nuts. So if you buy one of the pairings, you'll have to go down to your local gun store and arrange a FFL transfer, and then we'll do an inter-FFL transfer to them and ship the knife and firearm to them, and then you can go down and get it from them and do your paperwork. So we have a lot of really cool stuff that we're going to do, and I thought I would throw one more thing into the mix. So what I want to do is a lot of you know other knife makers, a lot of you know small makers, or small crafters, or guys who quit their job or they got laid off and they started a little business. I've got the ability to do stuff bigger than most people, and I'm still driving the ship here. So what I'm proposing is, if you've got a cool thing and I have the capacity to make it, that you propose it and we'll make the damn thing. Now, a couple of caveats about that before I let it rip. You'll send submissions for this to Greg at medfordknife.com. It's GREG at MEDFORDKNIFE.com. Medfordknife.com. Submissions have to be more than just some loose thing. You got to have a real drawing, or you got to have a concept put together. If you've never drawn a knife before and you just think you're a savant, not just an idiot, but an idiot savant, and you just have an amazing knife that's going to bring a new take on man's oldest durable hard good implement, what I want you to do is, if you want patent protection and you have to own it and control it and all of that, don't send it to me. I'm talking about guys who've got designs and ideas and they're interested in, because I just don't want to get into conflict with anybody who's like that. I'm looking for folks who just have a thing and they're like, I'll probably never get it made. I don't have the ability to make this, but Greg could make it. It'd be super cool if he made it. If you come up with a great idea, I will make it. I'll cut some deal with you on how we handle any money that may or may not come in from it, but I want to find an American product. I want to find a product that's not getting made out there, and we'll make it. So, if you or anyone you know knows someone, or know another knife maker who wishes he had the ability to get something done, I'm offering up my services because I think it would be fun. It'll be fun to show everybody the submissions. And we'll work on this project over some time. Launching a project's not kind of a willy-nilly endeavor. So you can send any submissions to Greg at medfordknife.com, MEDFORDKNIFE.com. Greg, G-R-E-G, Greg at medfordknife.com. Hey, Corey. So This doesn't happen most places because, honestly, because most places aren't as flexible and they don't have the original guy who was making knives still running the company. There's only a few companies like that around. But this is the case, and I like making cool new things, and I don't care if it's a knife product. So if you find something that's some other kind of product, if I can find a way to make a buck with it, we'll come up with a little plan and do something, or I'll make it just for you, and we'll figure that out. So I thought it would be um, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to do. Now, if you happen to know some other knife makers, chances are they know me, and I probably know them, even though I don't. I try not to poke my nose out in the knife world too much. If you know somebody out there who wants a knife made, they want a kind of cool high-end American knife made that doesn't have import, it doesn't have any import drag on it, connect them with me and we'll make it happen. And if you just connect dots, we'll do something for you too. If you just connect me to somebody else, we'll do something fun for you too. I think it'd be fun, and then what we'll do is I'll kind of catalog the process. I'll vlog the process so people kind of can see what's involved. Yeah, so I don't know. I have so many cool new things going on. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around. Do many of you know about our Pro Series? I don't know if you do. I've got a couple of the prototypes from the Pro Series here if you want to see them. Does anybody want to see them? I'm gonna reach over. I'm gonna move this show over a little bit. I'm gonna show you two of my favorites. So the first thing is, back during World War II and after, for many years, they obviously made the fighting utility knife that was is so kind of famous and known by K-Bar making now. I wish I had the skills to produce this, but great. Oh, thanks, man. So back in World War I, World War II, really, they came up with an aviator's knife, and it was kind of based loosely on the fighting utility knife that was made by K-Bar and Oneida and Olean. All these different companies made the fighting knife, but it's really what K-Bar's kind of brought into the future and really kind of been the core company around that for many decades. We took our USMC Fighter, which is our full-size modern-day take on the USMC Fighter, and we made a short version of that knife. So this is a prototype of it. So instead of having the big full-size, let me see, give me 1 second. Let's come over here. I'm gonna pull up another knife. Now this knife, you guys don't laugh. This knife, when you see this knife, you guys are gonna crack up. You can see this knife in my hand if you go on, I think Amazon Prime right now. This knife is in a movie. It's all over the movies. What's it called? Silent Night. So this is the knife that was in the movie that he used. So this is a full-size USMC Fighter. And it's got the director, John Woo, on there. And this is the knife. This is the knife that's in the movie. And you'll see him in the movie doing a lot of work. Like the knife's all over the movie. It's really cool. So this is the full-size one, and this is the aviator version. And it's shorter because you can go on a leg sheath and go in the pant leg of your flight suit. Or it can go in a small bug-out bag that's attached to your ejection seat or your aircraft if you were to bail out. So to see them, the only difference is this one here, it's not as hard. This one here is made out of rubber since it's a movie prop knife. They made an exact replica, an exact model of my USMC Fighter. This is the one for the movie, and this is the short version of it. I just thought I'd show them to you for size comparison. Now this knife's really cool. It's called the Luke Airman. Of course, Luke Air Force Base was named after an aviator from Arizona that flew, I believe, during World War I. And this is the knife. So G10 fully sculpted machined handle, full tang knife. You can see that the tang itself, the hilt, is kind of a split between the two handle slabs and the steel. The missing parts did not show up. UPS has not done their job. And they refuse to do their job. The Goodyear facility of UPS in Phoenix, Arizona, 297 knife parts. And they lost the whole box. And we're pretty sure it's down at Goodyear, and they won't even let us take a look. The second knife from our Pro Series, the first one is that called the Luke Airman, which is a shorter kind of aviator's leg mount version of the USMC Fighter. And a lot of guys don't like that big of a blade these days. The next is called the Romulus. Now, the Romulus is a full-size, Gladius-inspired, spectacular, mean fucking dagger. It's got a lot of sexy to it. I want to show you the handle in some close-up detail. That's all milled G10. Big slot for a big leather strap to go through and put a bead on it. It feels awesome in the hand. Handle is full-sized and slightly on the slender side so you can wear some gloves, do some heavy work. This knife you could run right through a dude in the hallway, and the guy who's stacked up behind him, you'd probably get 3 to 4 inches into him too. It is 3/16 stock, so it's thinner stock than I've done full-size big knives with in the past. It is light and nimble feeling. It feels like something, if you pick every knife in my entire lineup in my company and said, you know, like I'm telling you, if I was going off to war today, I'd strap this on my thigh. I'd have a really ruddy TFF1 with me. I'd carry this and a TFF1 and whatever they gave me for pew pew, and I'd go get it done. This knife is so bitchin', and if you got jammed up in close quarters to take this out, it would be like taking a dirk or short sword out and just fucking somebody up. Everything about it is nasty. It is a full-size dagger with just, I mean, there's 9-10 inches of blade there. All the details are actually on medfordknife.com under the Pro Series. I'm in love with these two knives. So this is our USMC Fighter. You can see the length of the blade compared to my fist. So the blade's 5 inches in length. So you see, you know, my fist almost is the length of the blade. And the handle is, I mean, it just feels like, this feels like if it got, you could hang off of it if it got stuck in something. I mean, it's just, I got pretty good mitts, and it just feels so good in the hand. It's not pure round. It's got some, it's round on the pommel. It's roundish. It's oval. And then it gets very kind of egg-shaped or oval inside the hand. This knife just feels so good. And this Romulus is the one I would take. Like if I was, you know, if I'm flying a aircraft and I did my survival knife, this is not what I would take. But as a guy I like to kick down some doors personally, this is the knife I would take. It's spectacular. It's just something spectacularly mean and wonderful about it. And it not only does it like tickle my like Roman sensibilities. I think about Rome all the time. I think about ancient Rome probably every day, 5 times. Not only does it tickle those sentiments, it's as relevant now if you were to have to do some smash and stab. So I'm just in love with this knife. And I could just see having a shield and this coming around. You know, you've got your sword, and your sword gets knocked out of your hand. And too close for sword, switching a knife. You pull your knife out, and go right under a guy's shield up into his liver, his ribs with this thing, and just get it done. It's just a sexy knife. I really, really like it. The hilt on all of these new designs in the Pro Series, the hilt is a full carry through of steel. You can see there from the blade, and then it's flanked on each side by the G10. Let's see what everyone's saying. Any chance of a tapered tang on that model? No chance of a tapered tang. What do I call it? My hubby just rolls his eyes. So the TFF1 Fat Daddy, that's the fat fuck, Kelly. The old dog, I'll wear that shit at QT. I'll use it to order Chick-fil-A. Oh, okay. Medrodulus Max is interbeing. Oh, what's up, guys? So I just thought I'd get on a little bit. Now you can find these over at medfordknife.com, and although some dealers have placed orders on these have not. I've not pushed them out in the market because we haven't been quite ready for them until now. They're imminent. So my sheath designs are just wrapping up on. So for those of you who know my USMC fighter line, it is a very stout. I don't have any here. It's a leather, hand-sewn leather sheath, multi-layer construction, very comparable in construction and superior quality to what the Randall Knife Company was doing during Vietnam, which are it's a very sought after era and style of sheath. I wanted to do a sheath that harkened back to that. And the sheaths for all of these are fantastic. They're all very much in the form factor of the USMC fighter sheath. I just don't have them sitting around, but they're happening. I think you guys are gonna love these knives. The Romulus is the biggest knife of the series. Goes on the belt. It's meant to strap around the leg. It's got a lanyard or a lacing cord for going around the leg. The rest of these are all kind of set up for leather sheath, belt carry. One's a cross draw, one's a little side draw, one's a small at the back. They're really, really cool. A couple of the sheaths can be worn a few different ways. Some of the sheaths are reversible for left or right carry. So super cool lineup in the Pro Series. So if you go to medfordknife.com, bop over to the Pro Series, and then we're going to do something kind of special for the first batch of these that sell to everybody. The coin thing that we did was ridiculously successful. And since I had the ability to basically mint my own coins out of titanium, we're going to be doing that a little bit more. If you like the coin offering, I had so much positive response from that. The knives for that offering sold so quickly. We're going to start doing some coin pairings with a lot of the initial runs of things, which I think will be, it's a nice little perk to get in on the early time of a new product, which is fun. So for the first 100 of each of the Pro Series, I'm making this really cool professional kind of like, the coin basically has symbolism around professionalism in all things, whether it's the craft of camping, killing, or hiking. It's all wrapped up together. I think you guys are gonna love it. And as these coins come out, I'll show them to you. You can decide if you want to get in on them. I also have this really cool miniature dog tag that I've done out of thick titanium for the ASK series for when I do special things or vault sales, so that you know you got it directly from me. If it has a little coin with it, so, it's not a coin, it's a little dog tag, but thick titanium, sculpted, fucking cool. So I just have a bunch of cool things I'm doing, and that's what you do when interest rates. I mean, I just got a quote on a HELOC for my house, 10% yesterday. 10% interest rates. I got another friend of mine who's got a really cool company, makes a great product. He's got a lot of work. He told me he's shutting the whole thing down. I got another friend. He's got a big service business here in town, been around for a couple generations. He called me up to ask if I could pay early because he wasn't sure if he could make payroll. And I was like, holy shit. Don't believe what people are telling you. And people forget about this, you guys. The first 2.5 years of the Trump presidency, this economy sung. I've never seen or felt anything like it. Gas was under $2 a gallon. A lot of times it was under $1.50 a gallon. There was money flowing. Everything I touched turned to gold. The last 3 years, Really what happened was the left, Democrats, and really dumb Americans, not because they disagree with me, dumb Americans who were brainwashed and uneducated and uninformed, been brainwashed by the lamestream media for propagandist, large corporatist, pro-war, institutionalist, centralized government, bootleg, authoritarian, jackboot motherfuckers. A good part of my country, our country, has been brainwashed by these sons of bitchin' cocksuckers. And they hijacked the disease, just like they've hijacked equal rights, they hijacked the Emancipation Proclamation, they hijacked the Civil Rights Bill of the 1960s, they've hijacked birth control, they hijack everything to divide and conquer. The solution I have for the motherfucking ruling class in this country is brutal and it is felonious, and I can't say it out loud, but it's my solution. It will require shovels. There's like two things in government: tell the truth, serve the people. If you do that, everything would be better. Everything works. Tell the truth, serve the people. When I hear about how they've fixed the economy and made it healthier since Trump was president, it is like listening to an alcoholic with tequila shiny, dripping down their face, soaked into their t-shirt, shit running out of the pant of their legs, slurring their words, glassy-eyed, stinking of booze, telling you they've been sober for a year. That's what Jean-Pierre and Biden and Camel Toe and all of them, that's their thing. That's what they're doing. They have shit oozing out of their pants, booze soaked into their shirt. They're holding a half-empty bottle of tequila, and they're telling you everything's better. And they're shooting off a gun. And they're telling you everything's better now. And we're supposed to like believe this. I heard a number that realized actual unemployment in this country is approaching 21%. 21%. That's nearly a quarter of all working age adults not working. A quarter. And I have a hard time finding employees. Somehow or another, our houses have doubled in value. Wages have doubled. The cost of goods have doubled. The cost of raw materials have doubled. I went in a grocery store I live in a very wealthy zip code. I went in the grocery store yesterday. It looked like Soviet era Russia. There was fucking hardly anything on the shelves in the meat department. There was no ground beef. I wanted to do cheeseburger night. No ground beef. This is a major American grocery store. Not in the sticks, in a wealthy neighborhood. Flabbergasted. Gas. I don't know what it is right now. $4.50 a gallon for me. I feel like every time I go to the gas station, and I'm not poor. I'm just like blown away by the amount of money. I go to get my car worked on, no talent. I go to the dealership, they don't have talent. They're apologetic about it. The meat counter closes at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon most places now because they don't have enough staff to man a butcher counter into the evening work rush hour when people come home and buy their food on the way home. I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on. Call somebody to come out and troubleshoot a problematic bit of plumbing that's under your concrete. Good luck. I want to get a pool put in. I've had 3 companies I've made appointments with that haven't showed. I want to get a pool put in my house. Now I live on the side of a mountain, but I've got a spot that's flat. You can get a backhoe in. I can't get him to show up. Everywhere I go wants a tip now. Everybody wants a tip. I go to counter service to get a coffee. The girl standing at the counter, she enters it all in. There's another girl standing in front of things. She goes, Greg, everybody wants a tip. I go, are you guys getting fucking paid by somebody? I don't get a tip. Every time we come down here in the middle of the night because the wind blows and something moves in the building and the alarm goes off and I meet the police down here, nobody gives me a tip. You fucking show up. Why does everybody want a tip for doing your fucking job? I go to a restaurant in Vegas. I got a gal with me. I don't have an appointment because we just ran up there to get some food. I'm like, here's $50 to get. I'm like, hey, here's my reservation. Give him a Benjamin. My friend Benjamin tells me I'm assured I'm going to get a seat. Nope. Oh, sir, we can't do that. It's not fair. I'm like, not fair to who? You and Karl Marx in your fucking pocket? You make $16 an hour seating people at a fucking table. Somebody slides you 100 or a 50, fucking seat them. I don't even know why it makes sense to have money anymore. You can't fucking get anybody to do anything. You send me a sample of something, Anthony, I'll fucking make it. If it's makeable and can be done to make money here in the United States, I'll fucking make it. And I know everybody around here, if we have to collaboratively manufacture it, we will. If there's some part of it, some microprocessor thing that needs to be done in Taiwan, I'll get the fucking part made there and we'll make the rest of it here. Whatever needs to be done, I'll get it made. I just am wandering around, scratching my head, going, what the fuck happened to my country? I went into a Costco a couple days ago. I felt like I was in the third world. I don't care, but I'm like, something has shifted. Something has definitely shifted. They have restructured America. You know, if there's 260 million of us, or I don't know how many there are right now in the United States. Let's do a little math experiment just for fun. I'm going to pull it up. I know someone's going to tell me 320 million. Let's find out what the real number is. So, USA population. I'm doing my own production here. All right, 330 million right now. 330 million people. And a quarter of us of working age aren't working. And I hear the number could be as high as 30 million people have come in since the Biden administration. 30 million people that don't look like us. They don't know about our Constitution. They've not pledged allegiance to a way of life. For those of you, if I have any lefty interlopers who may have just slid on over here into the Medford Knife and Tool show, the knife component of the show is over, and now it's the me talking about America component of the show. The reason people say, why do we pledge allegiance to the flag? Why do we pledge allegiance to the flag? I hear lefties deride, I go, oh, well, it's not in the Constitution we pledge allegiance to the flag. That's a new thing. That's just made up. I had a gal tell me the other day, they just made that up to sell flags. Now, everything that happens has got some marketing. But do you know why we pledge allegiance to the flag? And this is what you can tell any little jadrule 20-something who thinks they're fucking smarty pants because they got their history lesson from fucking TikTok. The reason we pledge our flag, our allegiance to the flag, and the reason we raise our right hand and we swear to uphold the Constitution as a soldier, as a first responder, we swear to uphold the Constitution. We don't swear allegiance to the President of the United States. We swear allegiance to the Commander-in-Chief for all laws constitutional against enemies, foreign and domestic. We swear allegiance to an idea, not to a person, not to a place, not to a thing. The flag represents something that is immutable and constant. And it never becomes popular or unpopular. It's the keel of the ship. The Constitution is a keel. And what a keel does, it keeps the ship upright and going true through the water. Because the winds come in from this direction and that direction. And the abortion changes. And this is relevant and that is relevant. And the Constitution is meant to be an arc across time that tethers us to an original idea that changed humanity. That all men are created equal and they are endowed with inalienable human rights by the Creator and no middleman. Thank you very much, Catholic priest. Thank you very much, Divine Right of Kings. We don't need you. We get our inalienable. They cannot be taken away. Healthcare is not inalienable. It's not a right. Healthcare is a thing you earn and pay for. You earn it every day by eating well and you pay for the extra. That's not a right. Everybody wants to make everything a right now. Rights are inalienable. They can't be taken away. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They're enumerated in the Constitution very specifically, and then in the follow-up Bill of Rights, which had to be tagged onto the Constitution or everybody wouldn't sign it. They said, no way. Free assembly, press and speech, religion, Second Amendment, not the 12th Amendment, not the 13th, not the 27th, not the 3rd, not the 5th. The first thing they said is you're free to pray to a God, meet up together, and say the truth in public without fear of reprisal. Like, that's pretty basic, serious shit. The second thing is the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So we pledge to this Constitution because across time and irrespective of who gets voted in, elected in, blah, 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 what happens is a bunch of guys like me in the military will say no to stupid rules and stupid law. Officers will sit around, they will talk in high, quiet circles. Can we actually get the guys to do that? Like, if they considered something that they thought borderline, do you think the troops will actually do that? There's shit they could ask us to do that U.S. troops wouldn't do. And when it's happened in the past, like at the Kent State shooting, the massacre that happened there, it's happened a couple times in American history when the military has turned on civilians a little bit. It's a big fucking deal. It rattles our cage as a nation. Uphold the Constitution and protect our nation against enemies both foreign and domestic. And domestic. Now, if I said what I was in my heart, what I feel about the people serving us while they serve themselves and everyone but us, if I said the truth, Secret Service would show up at my house. The FBI would show up at my house. So I can't really say the truth. Most of y'all don't use your First Amendment. I actually use it almost every time I get on here. And I've had it infringed 1,000,000 times. Who infringes on it? Well, a company run by an East Indian who's come here, who doesn't have the same allegiances as me, who lets the CIA and the NSA have an office in their building for free so they can look at all my personal information for free, unfettered, no FISA court, no permission required. Because Gupta, Bertie, and Howe thinks it's all right. Americans are dangerous and crazy. With his fucking green card as a CEO of a company. Awesome. Awesome. Half these fucking companies are run by foreigners that are not U.S. citizens. I'm not a xenophobe. They haven't pledged fidelity to us. You know, when I joined the Marine Corps, and every Marine, we pledged fidelity to Americans, not the government, and that we would obey lawful orders, and that we were faithful to the Constitution, not Democrats, not Republicans, not crazy fucking right-wing abortion nutty Christians, not nutball purple-haired heffalump incel lesbian fucking Democrats. None of those special interests. To the Constitution. They don't want that anymore. Oh, it's a living document. No, it's not a living document. It's a tethering document. It binds us to our past and helps define who we are as a people. It is our keel and our core that gets us into the future and allows us to weather big waves of change that are wrong. As a group of people, we try out new ideas, new arguments, and new ways of being in a society together. And the keel saves us. Right now, morons are running the show. It's not Joe Biden. People running this country were not elected by us. We can't even throw them out. We didn't vote for them. They're more worried about what's going on in Ukraine because Boeing, Morton Thiokol, Allied Signal, Honeywell, all these defense contractors have them all in their hip pocket. They're more worked up about having a war in Ukraine and attacking Iran, because that's a big danger for America, than they are about securing our border and making sure hundreds of thousands of people in California, Arizona, and Oregon who can't even afford to live in these places anymore because they've regulated home building into a stratosphere that wages can't keep up with. We've got more, Lockheed Martin too, yes. We've got more land and more plenty than any place ever. And there's a housing shortage in California. You want to see what it looks like? Go to London. London is surrounded by countryside. They could build homes there and drop the price of homes so that people wouldn't be homeless and have to be on the government dole. They've got everybody on the dole over there, a large piece of the population. They lie about what the numbers are, and it's control, power, and manipulation. You call it anything you want, it's slavery by a different name. And no place has been better at it than folks who used to be subject to the crown and never got their freedom. You gotta fucking either kill a king or kick him out. We're one of the only places on planet Earth that's ever fucking done it. And it is definitely what makes us different, folks. Make no mistake about it. So, my to the fucking government is to make stuff here. Enemies foreign and domestic. Only thing I can do at 53 is make stuff here and make a buck, make an awesome product, force them to copy me. That's what I can do. So if you got something cool, send it over to Greg at medfordknife.com. That's C-O-M, not C-A-L-M. I'm not Greg at medfordknife.com. I'm medfordknife.com. Be fucking great if it was medfordknife.com. You're like, what? Yeah, it's .C-A-L-M. All right, listen. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm pretty... If I wasn't an optimist, and a lot of people hear me talk and they get riled up, and some people get really mad, and I think some people sometimes feel hopeless. This has been going on a long time. And it's out in the open more than ever. You know, they opened everything up with the internet, and they're trying like their damnedest to control it. And the harder they squeeze, the more the juice seeps out between their fingers. And I'm very heartened by the fact that we now know. What's disheartening to me is how many of my citizens don't like a guy because of his hair, and they can't name a single bad thing that he's done other than say, oh, you think being famous is to try being a billionaire and famous. You can grab a girl by the pussy. Like, the guy said that. Now, amongst friends, it's kind of funny. Like, if you said that, like, you know, somebody's like, oh my God. Like, if I was a billionaire, they'd be like, God, Jesus, Greg, it's got to be crazy being a billionaire. You're like single and a billionaire. That's got to be crazy. And you'd be like, oh, it was crazy when I was just a billionaire. But, you know, since I did that reality TV show, I've been a billionaire and famous. It's bananas. You can like grab a stranger by the pussy. They'll like go home with you. That's called hyperbole. It's speaking in hyperbole to your buddies. So Trump's sitting on a bus talking to Billy Bush. He's mic'd up. And they're bantering back and forth, off air, not about serious things, just chitty-chatting. And Trump says that, like a couple of guys would, stuck on a bus, waiting for their time to go on stage, and you're talking shit. He's from New York. You hang out with your buddies and you talk shit. It's funny. amusing. You burn some time. Fishing stories. You're more alpha male, there's going to be some more girl stories in there. Billionaire Playboy? What a shocker. I mean, I've got people who literally have based all of their voting on that because he thinks he's, they think he's, what do you call it? He's a misogynist. The guy doesn't seem like a misogynist. He had like the first female campaign, head of his campaign when he ran the first time, right? His chief advisor, Kelly Conway. The guy's been surrounded by women. And, you know, let's see who he picks for a vice president. But it's just, I find it really ironic. People have almost, they don't even know what to say about him negative other than that he's despicable and he's Satan. And I go, okay, you've been hearing a lot of hyperbole from Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper and a bunch of shitbirds for the last 4 years, but do you have anything substantive? Oh, he doesn't pay his bills. Yeah, he pays his bills. Everybody who's got multiple businesses, lots of stuff going on, you get lawsuits. I don't really know about that. Like if there was a bunch of people he hadn't paid, there'd be big exposés on that. A lot of times what happens is there's conflicts between two owners of companies. So a guy says, I'm going to do this for your company, and you agree to it, and he does 80% of what he said. How much money should you pay him? Personally, I think, what's her name? Like him to pick the gal from Hawaii for his VP. I think that'd be a good pick for Trump. You guys got any suggestions for Trump for VP? I think, let's put it down there in the comments. I think that, what's her name? Oh, you guys know the one from Hawaii there. Shit, one of you's going to say it in a second. Not Kerry. No, not Ben Carson. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I love Tulsi. I think if he picked Tulsi Gabbard, I actually think that'd be a solid win. I had some people from the FBI in yesterday. They got a tour, and while they got a tour, they got 3 of their knives tuned up. As they walked out from their tour, they got their knives handed back in their hands. They were really happy. Do you know, customer service has been, that Indian fella. That Indian fella isn't bad. It's fucking J27. The Indian fella is not bad. You know, he's too much. He's like a male Hermione Granger from fucking, what's that one with the smarty pants wizard? That little nerdy wizard with the round glasses. Boy, I'm getting old here. What is that series out of England we all watched with the kids? The Wizards. Fuck, I don't know. It's Harry Potter, yeah. Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah, Vivek, bright guy, too smart for his. He just sounds like he's a little smart ass cunty. I like him. I like how smart he is. I think he'd be a great Secretary of the Interior or something. Yeah, the FBI guys, they've heard my rants. A lot of the guys, I think the guys that work for the FBI have their own rants too. Yeah, Vivek, we'll see Vivek again when he calms down a little bit, doesn't sound so smarty pants Hermione Granger. Anyway, that's my rant for the day, you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Greg at medfordknife.com if you got a great product idea, if you watched the first part of this. I look forward to hearing from you all. And go over to medfordknife.com, check out the Pro Series knives. First is the Luke Airman. Second would be the Romulus. I mean, I fucking want to run somebody through for this. Merc ones, I'm getting ready. I got a big batch. I got almost 40 Merc ones out here that I'm getting ready to shoot a video about. I got a really nice email yesterday from a gentleman whose father's been going through cancer treatment. And he's in I think he's been in the hospital driving the nurses crazy, listening to my podcasts and listening to my videos. So, sir, if you're out there and you're listening today, we wish you the very best in your battle against the cancer monster, and we wish you the very best of luck with that. Many years of health, and if you don't get many more years, may you have lived well and say everything you need to say before you shuffle off the mortal coil. I'm less reticent than most to talk about croaking, but if you got bad cancer and you're not coming back from it, fucking keep your boots on while you go out. And if watching my videos stirs your blood a little bit, get your endorphins going, God love you. Thanks for stepping in and watching and supporting. We've got knives going out all over the world that tickles me to no end. And I got a high-hearty fuck you to the people of UPS, you sons of bitches over. My production manager went down to Tempe to UPS, to the Tempe facility. They were really nice. They let him go back and look around. And said, sorry, we don't think it ever came here. We're pretty sure it's still back at Goodyear. He went directly over to Goodyear, walked up front gate. They said, we're calling the police if you don't leave the property right now. They went straight to police. That's like saying hi to a gal and she just yells rape. That's how UPS wanted to help us out. And it's only 50 people in their jobs and a week and a half's worth of production, you know. Awesome. Thanks, UPS. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to do a special. I'm going to do a special just on UPS next. And we'll send it over to them and see how it goes. We'll see. All right, you guys. Great man from Medford Knife, MKT USA and SK Knives. Thanks for stopping in. Have a fucking great Tuesday. I'm out.